Yeah, let's talk about why we decided to start with IVF versus IUI. I mean, there's several ways that you can get pregnant. And we have never tried to get pregnant in my entire life. This is the first time. And we are starting with such an intense, invasive, and expensive method. Like, typically people don't start with IVF. They start with IUIs, they see how it goes, or ICIs, they see how it goes, and then they move to IVF for whatever reason. We're starting with the most expensive, invasive way to get pregnant. And there were a couple of reasons why we decided this. The first reason is my age. I'm 35, and the doctor said that because of my age and also my egg reserve is incredibly low.
His recommendation, which is what he also submitted to our insurance company, which flat out denied it. Backtrack. For being 35, my insurance needs you to have 6 unsuccessful IUI attempts, fully paid out of pocket. We're talking thousands of dollars each shooting up. You know, a vial of sperm is like $800 something sometimes. I mean, it's a lot of fucking money, and you have to wait for each cycle. It's a lot of meds. It's a lot of everything. It's very expensive.
So the total for each cycle out of pocket with like the sperm and the shipping and the meds and everything would probably be like $5,000.
Yeah,
or so,
easily,
give or take. And
So,
her insurance, you need 6 unsuccessful tries for IVF benefits.
before they deem you infertile.
For IVF benefits to kick in, where they would pay 80% and we would pay 20%.
Like, oh, I've got $25,000 max life fertility benefits. This is great insurance. Not the case. It's so high because it's impossible to get it.
But we would have exhausted all 6 rounds because it wouldn't have worked. The doctor said that the percentage
was so low, it's not worth it.
Yeah, it'd be like 15%, if that it would ever work. I mean, probably lower. I mean, it would be ridiculous.
So, like, don't waste the time, don't waste the money, go straight to IVF, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to get pregnant. I'm like, you better tell my insurance that. And he did, and they still said no. And I was like, well, what if we did the 6 IUIs? And he's like, you'll go through a lot of heartbreak for nothing, and after 6 months, her eggs will probably be depleted sometime this year. So I was like, we needed to do IVF, and we needed to do it quick.
Yeah.
And it was like,
the urgency to get pregnant as soon as possible is really, really high. Like,
it's not even getting pregnant, it's getting the eggs out to make embryos.
Yeah, but and to get pregnant, like, to go through 6 rounds, which is 6 months, go through at least 6 months of heartbreak, knowing that it's not going to work, and spending $5,000 a pop. So in the end of the IUI money, we would have spent just as much as IVF. So
probably more.
Or more. So we made the decision together that we were going to just go for it.
And based on the doctor's recommendation.
And like, this means everything to us. And rather than going through 6 months of heartbreak and then doing IVF, which is then another month, so it's like almost a year of trying, we were gonna just start strong and go right to IVF. And even if we were denied by the insurance company for them to help pay for it, we were gonna pay out of pocket. And that's exactly what we did. We charged on our credit card.
Opened a new credit card?
We opened a new credit card with the meds and the egg retrieval and the entire cycle and everything that comes with it. We charged $25,000. And here we are. We have one slow growing embryo that I don't really have high hopes that
I hope it's the little embryo that could,
but we spent all that money and we have nothing to show for it, and we are fucking like devastated and heartbroken, because even if this embryo does make it and it does become a blastocyst,
should be a miracle,
which would be a miracle, but even if it does, we still don't have like the siblings set up ready to go. And the other reason why we went with IVF is if IUI did work, it only works for you in that pregnancy. It doesn't ensure any kind of like siblings down the road. And given my age, and we would want to have the second child like, you know, in like 2 years or something, we went into IVF already planning our entire family. It wasn't like, let's get pregnant now and take it from there. Like, I know in the depths of my soul, and I know in Kris's too, that we need to have more than one child, like without a question. Like, to complete our family, like, we have to have 2 kids, and ideally 3. Like, I want to be a family of 5, but would love to be a family of 4. So to do IUI, and if it like miraculously worked now, and then in 2 years when we wanted to then have a second child, we would be back at square one. I would have way less eggs than I have now. So we went into this thinking of like the future of our family and having all the siblings just sort of on ice, like ready to go. And when we're ready for each one, we did like all like the legwork now, and we would feel happy that kind of like our future family is like waiting for us whenever we're ready. And also time is ticking. The doctor was like, your eggs like need to come out like this year, or not even this year. He's like you really have like a good like, what do you say, like
8 months,
yeah, like 8 months until like he's like
November, December.
So I mean, so we're kind of like already at like 6-7 months, so it's kind of like now like panic is setting in, like holy fuck, like even one failed IVF cycle to the insurance company still only counts as one. So whether it's a failed IUI cycle or IVF, they both still count as one.
They'll count it as one because they say like, well, it might not because it's your infertility problem. It could be a million other things could have gone wrong in IVF because there's so many steps and.
They probably wouldn't even count it as one. Our luck.
Yeah, so IVF is usually the thing that like is that saving grace for everybody's infertility problems and whatnot, and for us it was the best option recommended by our doctor, and just hope that, you know, I know I'll get through this no matter what happens. It's going to be very hard if this doesn't work out, and financially it's been tough.